Mahatma Gandhi, born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, is one of the most iconic and revered leaders in world history. Known as the father of the nation in India, his philosophy of nonviolence, or ahimsa, and his method of peaceful civil disobedience played a crucial role in India's struggle for independence from British colonial rule. Gandhi's teachings have inspired civil rights movements and leaders across the globe, including Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and the Dalai Lama. His life, characterized by simplicity, humility, and unwavering moral courage, continues to serve as a guiding light in a world often plagued by violence and injustice.
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869 in Porbandar, a coastal town in present-day Gujarat, India. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was the Diwan, chief minister of Porbandar, and his mother, Putli Bai, was deeply religious and influenced Gandhi's early views on ethics, vegetarianism, and spiritual discipline.
Gandhi was an average student but showed strong moral convictions from an early age. In 1888, he traveled to London to study law at the Inner Temple. During his time in England, Gandhi faced many challenges but adhered strictly to a vegetarian lifestyle and explored various religious and philosophical texts, including the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, and works of Leo Tolstoy and Henry David Thoreau. These experiences deeply shaped his philosophical outlook and laid the foundation for his future principles.
After becoming a barrister, Gandhi moved to South Africa in 1893 to work for an Indian firm. It was in South Africa that Gandhi first encountered systemic racism and discrimination against Indians and other non-white communities. One of the most defining moments of his life occurred when he was thrown off a train in Pietermaritzburg for refusing to move from the first-class compartment despite having a valid ticket.
This incident sparked Gandhi's long and determined fight against racial injustice. He spent 21 years in South Africa, organizing the Indian community and leading numerous non-violent protests. It was here that he developed his method of satyagraha, meaning truth force or soul force, which became the cornerstone of his political and ethical ideology.
Gandhi returned to India in 1915 at the age of 45 and was already well known due to his activism in South Africa. Upon his return, he toured the country to understand the socio-political and economic conditions of the Indian masses. His simplicity, wearing only a loincloth and living in an ashram, made him relatable to millions of impoverished Indians.
He quickly rose to prominence in the Indian National Congress and began leading major national movements against British rule. Gandhi's approach was revolutionary, not through violence, but by mass nonviolent civil disobedience, strikes, boycotts, and peaceful protests.
Gandhi's first major success in India came with the Champaran agitation in Bihar, where he led farmers against oppressive plantation practices by British indigo planters. His intervention forced the British authorities to negotiate and improve the conditions of the peasants.
Soon after, he supported peasants in Kheda, Gujarat, who were unable to pay taxes due to crop failure. Gandhi's non-cooperation and insistence on moral righteousness brought justice to the farmers.
Following the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in 1919, where hundreds of peaceful protesters were killed by British troops, Gandhi launched the non-cooperation movement. He urged Indians to boycott British goods, schools, courts, and titles. This movement united millions of Indians and marked the first mass mobilization against colonial rule. However, it was called off after the violent Chauri Chaura incident, where protesters set a police station on fire, killing 22 policemen.
One of Gandhi's most iconic acts of protest was the Salt March, or Dundee March, in 1930. In defiance of the British monopoly on salt, Gandhi walked 240 miles from Sabarmati Ashram to Dundee to make salt from the sea. This symbolic act ignited nationwide protests and led to the arrest of over 60,000 people.
As World War II progressed, Gandhi launched the Quit India movement, demanding immediate British withdrawal from India. His slogan, "Do or Die," stirred the nation, leading to widespread demonstrations and strikes. The British responded with mass arrests, including Gandhi and many Congress leaders.
Ahimsa was the central tenet of Gandhi's life. He believed that nonviolence was not a sign of weakness, but of immense strength and self-discipline. Gandhi practiced nonviolence in thought, word, and deed, believing that it could transform individuals and societies.
Gandhi's satyagraha was not just a political tactic, but a way of life. He believed that truth and justice would ultimately prevail without the need for violence. It was a means to confront injustice through peaceful resistance and moral persuasion.
Gandhi's concept of Swaraj extended beyond political independence. He envisioned a society where individuals had self-control, communities were self-sufficient, and governance was decentralized. His ideal was a harmonious society rooted in Indian traditions, but open to reform and inclusivity.
Gandhi lived a life of extreme simplicity. He wore hand-spun khadi cloth, lived in ashrams, practiced vegetarianism, and avoided material possessions. He believed that true happiness and freedom came from reducing one's desires and serving others.
Gandhi's personal life was as disciplined as his public life. He followed strict vows of celibacy, brahmacharya, fasting, and prayer. He constantly experimented with truth, believing that life was a journey toward moral and spiritual perfection. Though Hindu, Gandhi respected all religions and often read from the Quran, the Bible, and other scriptures. He promoted communal harmony in a country divided along religious lines. His compassion extended to animals, the poor, and the marginalized, including the so-called untouchables, whom he referred to as Harijans, children of God.
On January 30th, 1948, just months after India gained independence, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated in New Delhi by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who opposed Gandhi's policy of religious toleration and his efforts to reconcile with Muslims after partition. His death was a devastating blow to the nation and the world. However, Gandhi's legacy lives on. His birthday, October 2, is celebrated as Gandhi Jayanti in India and as the International Day of Nonviolence by the United Nations.
Gandhi's influence was not confined to India. His philosophy inspired civil rights leaders across the world. Martin Luther King Jr. adopted Gandhi's methods during the American Civil Rights Movement. Nelson Mandela applied nonviolent resistance in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. Cesar Chavez and Aung San Suu Kyi also drew inspiration from his principles. His teachings continue to resonate in modern times, offering solutions to issues like violence, environmental degradation, and moral decline.
Mahatma Gandhi's life was a beacon of hope in a time of oppression and despair. Through nonviolence, truth, and compassion, he changed the course of history. He proved that one man, armed with conviction and courage, could defy an empire and inspire generations. In a world still grappling with conflict and inequality, Gandhi's ideals remain profoundly relevant. His legacy is a call to conscience for peace, justice, and the dignity of all human beings.